The protest in UK, there was a globalist movement that started when there started to be mass immigration that they couldn't control and they couldn't sustain. And with that mass immigration came the religion of Islam. And what we see now in Eastern culture is we see that kind of totalitarian takeover of the religion. There are laws that are being passed and presented in the UK that bans any kind of critique of the Islamic religion. We're seeing the rise in America now of Islam. We're seeing the rise of this DEI culture and ideology. We're seeing the rise of immigration, illegal and unsustainable immigration. That's what happened 20 years ago in UK. And you see people fighting tooth and nail to make sure Islam has their rights, to make sure DEI is put at the forefront of every part of our society, to make sure that illegal immigrants can come in and do whatever they want, and our leaders gaslight it to believe. So the dichotomy is they're fighting for what is going to destroy them 20 years, 25 years down the road. Well, welcome everybody to the Courageous Truth Podcast. As always, I'm honored that you have chosen to spend a little bit of time with me today. Thank you to everyone who is subscribing, commenting, liking. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Follow me right here on TikTok. I'm building one platform at a time. The reason why this podcast even exists, because I believe it is important for the people of God and the people of America to understand what is taking place in culture, what is taking place in society, what's taking place ideologically, and have an anchor with which to form our opinion and our understanding. And that anchor that I use is the Bible, is Scripture, is the Word of God. So thank you for tuning in as always. I want to kind of do kind of a reaction video today, but I believe that there is a major point of all this. We are in a cultural dichotomy right now. And I think that it's fascinating as we look at how different people and different ideologies are responding to the culture, are responding to current events, are responding to the power grab from above, so to speak. And I want to show two separate video clips. Now, these are videos from an independent journalist named Nick Shirley. All the credit goes to him. I just clipped up some of his footage because I think that it really helps to tell the story. So make sure you follow, like, and subscribe his page. He is one of the best journalists out there. Independent journalism, I believe, is one of the best ways for us to uncover what is truly happening in our world and in our culture today. We cannot trust the mainstream media. We can't trust CNN, Fox News, MSNBC. We can't trust anybody. The only person we can trust really is ourselves and our eyes. And independent journalists are going out into all these hot spots across the world and allowing the people to tell the story, allowing the people on the ground in those situations to tell the story of what's truly happening. And that's where we get our news from. And I think that's probably the best way. But I want to show two videos. Now, this first video, I'm going to set it up. This is, for lack of better terms and description, this is the left ideology and those who ascribe to the progressive ideology. This is their response to the immigration raids that are taking place. The first part of it is in Minneapolis. The second part of it is in LA. Some of the way that they're responding to these things. I'll talk about the cultural dichotomy at the end of the video. But to kind of set up the video, what you're going to see in the very first clip where the sky is kind of gray is in Minneapolis. What has happened is the ICE agents went in and they busted up a prostitution ring, a child sex prostitution ring, and they arrested some people. Now, when they go in there, they don't announce that they're coming in, obviously, because it's a surprise, and they don't want the people in these rings to run away. So they just show up. And then, of course, the people have been gaslit to believe that they are kidnapping people off the streets, that they're coming in and they're taking people away without due process. Now, one thing we have to note to kind of underscore this is that every illegal immigrant in America right now is on notice, and they have the opportunity to self-deport, and the United States will pay for that self-deportation. So they've already been told, if you're here and you're not allowed to be here, you don't have the right visas or passports or permission, please self-deport, and then you can get back in line and become a citizen the correct way. However, what has happened is we have seen, and you be the own judge of this, but we are seeing the citizens standing in the way of law and order through protests and riots. In fact, if you've been paying attention at all, you know that Portland has been a hot spot of a occupation of Antifa and protesters outside of the immigration center there in Portland. And, people from all over the nation are going there, independent journalists, to see what's going on, and it's not peaceful. There is a lot of backlash, and now patriots are rising up to go down there and counter protest and show their support for the immigration officers. I do digress, but what is happening is people are enabling illegal immigration. So the citizens are saying, hey, you come here illegally, we're going to stand up. We're going to stand up for you. We're going to stand up against you. We don't care what you've done. We don't care the fact that you broke our immigration laws. We, the people, have said it's okay. Now, they have been gaslit by who? Their political leaders to believe that this is okay. But anyway, let's let the footage speak for itself. And I want you to look at how the people are responding to the ICE immigration. So watch this. You can see the full, the credit goes to Nick Shirley. Of course, you can go to his channel and watch the full videos, but I want to give a little bit of context around it. I just want to comment on some of the things and point out, really what I want you to look at is I want you to look at the spirit of the protesters. I want you to look at the spirit behind their movement and behind their cause, because you will see it by the fruit of their actions. So watch this.
Oh, this is how this does
They just arrested some sex traffickers, and this is how the people are responding. They just arrested some sex traffickers, and this is how the people are responding. They're throwing garbage cans in front of they're throwing garbage cans in front of the cars. They're throwing garbage cans in front of they're throwing garbage cans. That man who just got pushed has been hassling those officers.
Look, you had this guy taunting and messing with the police. He's gotten thrown a few times by the police.
I apologize for the language. This is in LA.
I can tell you're very upset.
Of course we are.
I apologize for the language. This is in LA.
We feel some burning in the eyes right now. Upon arrival here, everybody be prepared. We still fight for the legalization of all.
They just broke the windshield of the police.
So they're surrounding police cars. Police are trying to leave the ICE detention center.
The police are trying to leave them.
So they're surrounding police cars. Police are trying to leave the ICE detention center. I don't know how they're not getting arrested for that. I don't know how they're not getting arrested for that. Look at all the Mexican flags.
The police have been overtaken here on the streets.
Look at all the Mexican
There's about
flags.
10 of them now here on the streets, and over 1,000 protesters are throwing waters at the police. Now the police are about to shoot.
Police are trying to leave. Police are trying to throw bricks and bottles. They're throwing bricks and bottles. How are they not facing criminal charges is what I want to know. But here's what I want you to notice. I want you to notice the spirit, and you can see the spirit of the cause by the behavior. You can see the spirit of the cause by the behavior, by the actions, by what the people are doing. You can just tell by the body language of the crowd that there is just chaos and that there is just unrest and there's just so much anger. And I'm not going to say it's misplaced anger, but it's not a healthy anger. It's not a focused anger. It's not an anger that's going to lead anywhere good. So for me, the fact that they're breaking and smashing and they're committing all these illegal acts kind of, it cancels out the message that they want to, put across to the world and put across to the police. They're assaulting police officers. They're vandalizing police vehicles, federal vehicles, state vehicles, and city vehicles. And they're assaulting one another. And it's crazy what they're doing and how they're behaving. Now I want to take you to a video, the same one by Nick Shirley, and he covered a protest that's happening. If you follow anything that's going on in the UK right now, which you probably can't because there are massive censorship laws that are taking place there, but what is happening there is freedom of speech is under attack, and people are getting arrested daily for social media posts criticizing Islam, criticizing government officials and policies, and really just saying anything that the government would deem offensive. This is a massive, massive globalist takeover that's happening in the United Kingdom right now. So there's a man named Tommy Robinson who is leading a counter-revolution. He's kind of like the Charlie Kirk of the UK. And I want you to watch this video, and I want you to pay attention to body language, but the main thing you have to understand is the reason. Why are these people taking to the streets? They're taking to the streets because they have their human rights taken away. The right to free speech, the right to express themselves. And you're going to listen to some of these interviews, and these people are there to express themselves. And at the end of the video, they're trying to walk towards, I guess, the Parliament building or one of the official government buildings so that they can stand outside and protest. And the police have created a barricade. And you're going to see some interactions there. And you make up your own mind from this very short clip.
Britain right now, how do you feel, Tommy?
We're making history, mate. We're making history.
You're making history.
Britain is awake. Britain is alive. This ripple has come from the United States. None of this would have happened without Elon Musk or Donald Trump. We thank you, America, okay? We thank you. You've given us hope. Hope is contagious. Britain is rising, mate.
And are you guys just getting started?
This is the counter-revolution. There's been a globalist revolution for 20 years. We are the counter-revolution. It's not bad.
Look at how the bodies are moving together.
Led by Tommy Robinson right there.
Look at that. They're all moving in one direction. Flags of their nation. Christ is King.
Your history.
Never in the history of my lifetime have I ever seen anything like this. And it's not stopping. It's not stopping, it's not ending, it's going to continue, it's going to keep going. And the world's going to wake up to the truth, slowly but surely.
So what level are you willing to fight to get your guys' freedom of speech?
To death! To death! I will die for freedom of speech, die for this green and pleasant land. And we are here to take it back. Go on, you f***ing prick!
That man has some passion, as you can see. That man is passionate. That's the barricade in front of their government parliament building. But look at their body language. Look how they're behaving.
Hide behind your badge. Hide behind your badge, you pathetic pig. We all face eternal judgment. Every single one of us.
And they are very upset for good reason.
Just stand! Just stand! Stand!
Little scuffle. Guy just got hit in the face with a baton.
You're the only woman up here. What are you doing?
I'm protecting our kids for the future.
Brutally assaulted by police, mate.
I don't get why they're doing this. All they're doing is
Police are pushing the people back away from the
all
battle.
we want to do is a peaceful protest. And they're just taking everyone round and round.
This is supposed to be a family protest. A family protest.
A family protest.
Embarrassing yourselves, all of you. Have you got kids? Have you got kids? See the sadness in your eyes, mate. You don't want this. You don't want this.
I can see you're getting emotional about this right now.
I am, mate, because I can see the sadness in all of these coppers' eyes. They don't want to be doing this. They're doing it for a paycheck. Think about their own kids and that. Just look at them now. Look at them now. They're traitors, mate. They're traitors, and they should be embarrassed about what they're doing right now.
Yeah, this is something I've never seen before. I've seen protests because of shootings, stuff in the United States due to deportations, but you guys are literally protesting because of the freedom of speech being taken away.
Freedom of speech being taken away and the innocence of our children being taken away.
So what you have to understand is these people's grievance isn't with the police officers, it's with the government. But the government doesn't want anything to do with them. So they sent out a line of police officers to stand out there to make sure that the people couldn't get to the government building and stand on the steps where they wanted to have their event and make their grievances known, because that's what you should do. You take your grievances directly to the people. Now, in the first protest, their grievances were in fact with those officers. But in this one, their grievance was with the government, so they didn't even get to have their grievances heard. But what you'll notice is the two different crowds. Look at the behavior of the two different crowds. Look at the body language. Look at the way the second crowd was kind of moving together with their grievances. The first crowd, they were just kind of chaotic and all over. And the first crowd, the second crowd, maybe one or two people were wearing masks. And a lot of them, if you look really closely, you're going to notice that in the second video, the police had camera. There was a guy with a camera that was videotaping everybody so that they could have facial recognition and then go back and arrest those people, because you're not allowed to speak out against the government. You're not allowed to make posts on social media. If you watch the whole video from Nick Shirley's channel, you will notice that a lot of people didn't want to talk because they were afraid of getting arrested for what they might say. Now, here is the cultural dichotomy that these two protests in two different parts of the world present to us, here in America anyway. The protest in UK, there was a globalist movement that started when there started to be mass immigration that they couldn't control and they couldn't sustain. And with that mass immigration came the religion of Islam. Now, religion of Islam, if you study it out, it is a religion that requires those who participate in that religion to overtake every other sphere of society. So the whole world becomes Islam. So everyone becomes a Muslim. Now, as you also study the Quran, there isn't necessarily a lot of laws or regulations or guidelines on how you should behave. So there's a lot of fluidity to it. And what we see now in Eastern culture is we see that kind of totalitarian takeover of the religion, and that's where the totalitarian comes in. That totalitarian government regime comes in. It comes in through Islam. There are laws that are being passed and presented in the UK that bans any kind of critique of the Islamic religion. Because why? Because they could, it's kind of a DEI type of thing. In other words, they're a protected class, they're marginalized people, all the stuff you hear from the DEI lingo. That's how those laws are passed. So what we have here is the results of what is taking the results in UK, where they're at right now, is some of the things that are happening in America. We're seeing the rise in America now of Islam. We're seeing the rise of this DEI culture and ideology. We're seeing the rise of immigration, illegal and unsustainable immigration. That's what happened 20 years ago in UK. And you see people fighting tooth and nail to make sure Islam has their rights, to make sure DEI is put at the forefront of every part of our society, to make sure that illegal immigrants can come in and do whatever they want, and our leaders gaslight it to believe. So the dichotomy is they're fighting for what is going to destroy them 20 years, 25 years down the road. Enter Donald Trump and his administration that's trying to stop this and push back against that globalist agenda. Why do you think they hate Donald Trump? They have painted Donald Trump as the most evil man so that the people who are on their side and their voters and their base won't see the evil that they're actually doing. So they have created this figmentation of evil, and they have put it and hung it around the neck of one Donald Trump so that all their hatred goes towards them, and they'll be allowed to push in this global agenda. And 20 years from now, 25 years from now, if we don't stop it here in America, that is what is going to take place. What we're seeing in UK, where you can't have free speech, you can't criticize, everything's hate speech, very strict hate speech laws. And there really isn't kind of a conclusion or a challenge going forward, except for the fact that we need to be aware of this and we cannot fall for this. And we need to continue to speak out against the Islamic takeover. Now, a lot of Muslims, most Muslims aren't bad people, but their religion and ideology is, because it creates an overtaking of culture. It's a very social justice type of religion, and it starts to overtake the different parts of society until before you know it, it has influenced all types of legislation, and we end up just like the UK is. In Washington state, we have now recognized 2 Islamic holidays as state holidays here in Washington state. Never mind Easter isn't one, never mind any of the other religions, but Islam is. Little bit suspicious, and I don't know what it's like in the state that you're in. But now's the time to courageously stand for the truth. Now is the time to allow our voices to be heard, and we cannot be afraid of being unpolitically correct. We have to get used to being unpolitically correct. Political correctness is an evil that controls your speech and your mind and your thought and your expression, and we cannot allow that. You got to get used to getting attacked, getting bombarded, getting, told that you're a bigot, you're a racist, you're all those things. They call you the same names over and over and over again whenever you don't agree with them. But now's the time to grow some thick skin and speak the courageous truth. So God bless you. Please like, subscribe to this channel, share this with your family and with your friends. Make sure to follow Nick Shirley on YouTube. Great. I'm a member of his exclusive content, phenomenal journalist. Credit again of the videos goes directly to him and him alone. But now's the time to take a courageous stand for the truth. I hope that this episode was inspiring, but I also hope that it was sobering, and that we will realize that we're running out of time to speak. And if we don't speak soon, and if we don't stand up soon, we're going to be facing what the UK is facing. So God bless you. Continue to take a courageous stand for the truth. I'll see you next time.